Hello everyone. Let me organize things here. While we wait for everyone to come and listen to the Dhamma, let me share the clip to Thai people to watch together. Okay, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening everyone. Hi Vivian, hi Phumika. Good morning to you in New Jersey. Before we begin, let me pay respect to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha first. นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพุทธังธัมมังสังฆังนะมามิ Hello Phumika, hello Gita Brown, hi Karuna, good morning to you all. Today, as you can see, we're gonna talk about the Noble Eightfold Path. We're gonna discuss about, actually this sutra, I believe most of you know about it, right? But today we're gonna discuss more on this topic, and we're going to talk more on the mundane right view and the supra-mundane right view. I'm not sure that you have heard about it or not, but we're going to talk about it today. Before we begin, I actually post the link to you all. It's from the Vipangka Sutra, translated from Bhikkhu Suchatto. It's about the Noble Eightfold Path. Anyway, if you cannot see it, I have made the presentation for you all. Hi, Usha. Okay, let's begin. You know, the Noble Eightfold Path consists of these 8 things, right? Starting from right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. I'm pretty sure that you all know about it. Starting from right view and finish with the right concentration. Many of you might have heard that, the Noble Eightfold Path can be divided into 3: Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, or the precepts, the meditation or concentration, and then the wisdom, right? Just like this. So this is actually related to the Dhamma that we discussed last week. That I try to, talking about the wisdom and the precept and the meditation related to the Noble Eightfold Path. So today I'm gonna talk more about it. First thing, right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. We all know it's about the Eightfold Path, the path that leads to the liberation, to the awakening, to the Nibbana. However, for these 8, gonna lead you to right wisdom first, or in Pali we use the word Sammayana. Sammayana is the right wisdom. And then from Sammayana, the right wisdom, gonna lead you to right liberation or Nibbana. So these 10 things, there's one sutra called, I'm not sure in Pali, maybe Sammatta. I'm not sure about in Pali word, but it's gonna be 10 things, starting from right view and then finish with the right liberation. But these eightfold paths, these things, very essential, for the Buddha's teaching. It can be divided into 3 things: Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, or the precept, the moral action, the Samadhi, concentration or meditation, and then the wisdom. However, when we talk, Sila, Samadhi, Panya, precept, meditation, wisdom, people are going to think like, okay, then now we have to, keep the precept first. After that, we have to try to cultivate the meditative state of mind. We have to, go to the retreat and do the meditation. And after that, then we're going to have the wisdom. But actually, in the Noble Eightfold Path, the right view is the first one. And the right view is considered a wisdom. But the right view here is not the same thing as the right wisdom here. The word is different, right? The word used is different. In Pali here, we use the word sammaทิฏฐิ. It's just like the right view, right mindset, or something like that. It's just like the train head, the head of the train. If you just like the controller of the train, the one who drive, the one who control the train, right? If he control the train to the right track, to the right destination, it's gonna take you to the train, gonna take you to the right destination. So it's just like the right view. You have to set yourself in the right track first. So it's important for you to have the right view, right mindset, or the right wisdom. But this one is different with the sammayana. You can say that the right wisdom here is maybe like the more purified wisdom. So we're gonna talk more about it later. But first, it's very important to point out that the first one of the Noble Eightfold Path, starting with the wisdom, the right view. After that, right thought. Right view and right thought are considered wisdom. See, so wisdom is very important. After that, right speech, right action, right livelihood are considered sila or precept, or the way to control the body and the speech and the career, the way you live, like how you live. You have to live with the right speech and right action. And the last 3, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration are considered the meditation or the samadhi. With this precept, meditation, and wisdom, gonna lead you to the right wisdom and the right liberation, the nibbana. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, so now let's move to the first one. The first one here, what is the right view? But you can see I use the word supramundane and the mundane right view. I'm not sure that you have heard about the mundane right view and the supramundane right view or not. But in Pali, they use the word lokiya sammatithti, like the worldly or the mundane right view, and the lokuttara sammatithti, or like beyond or the supramundane. But if you read in the sutra, anywhere that the Buddha talk about the Noble Eightfold Path, he would talk about the supramundane. So what is it? It is the Four Noble Truths. You have to know about suffering, the origin of suffering, the cessation of suffering, and the practice or the way that leads to the cessation of suffering. The Four Noble Truths is considered the supramundane right view. It's the right view that's gonna lead you out of the samsara, out of rebirth. However, there is another right view which is called mundane right view, or in Pali they use the word Lokiya Sammatiththi. Here is I use the information from the thesis. I'm gonna post the thesis for you. You can read. This is like from Thai monk. He, like do this thesis. In his thesis, he explained about the mundane right view, that the mundane right view is having a correct understanding of the moral law of cause and effect, the karma, the action that we discussed last week. That is wholesome volitional, physical, verbal, and mental action will produce good results, while unwholesome actions will produce bad results. Sorry. This view is based on Buddha's statement that beings are the owners of their deeds, the heirs of their deeds, that spring from their deeds, are bound to their deeds, have their deeds as their refuge. It is deeds or actions that divide beings into the inferior and the superior that we discussed last week. So the mundane right view is basically just about the cause and effect. Like, okay, there is rebirth, there is this world, there is next world, there is, like the duty, like that we have to take care of the mother and father, because if we do good thing, then we're going to have the good result, good outcomes, something like that. The supermundane right view is concerned with the principle essential to liberation. It does not aim only at spiritual progress in the realm of life after life cycle, the samsara, but emancipation from it. This superior right view leading to liberation, according to the Buddha, is the understanding of the Four Noble Truths. It is wisdom, the faculty of wisdom, the power of wisdom, a factor of enlightenment. This right view is of the one whose mind is free from kilesa, unwholesome cankers, and is called a constituent of the path. It's the path that leads to the cessation of suffering. The right view in Theravada Buddhism does not refer to just only, like theory, like theoretical understanding of the principle of Buddhist philosophy. It is the understanding through to really practice, to the self-examination and self-observation, leading to personal realization of the real nature of all phenomena, like anicca, dukkha, anatta, like impermanence, non-self. Thus, while the mundane right view provides an understanding of the moral law of cause and effect, or the karma, or the actions, the supramundane right view leading to the cultivation of the Noble Eightfold Path includes the correct understanding of the Four Noble Truths, dependent origination, and the three characteristics of impermanence, suffering, and non-self. So normally when we talk about the right view, the sammatiththi, we can divide into two things, the mundane and the supramundane. The supramundane is in the Eightfold Path, but you cannot, like, in order to reach the supramundane, the supramundane right view, then you have to, know the basic. You have to have the right view, right understanding of the basic thing, like the cause and effect. If you do good, then you're gonna have like the good outcomes. If you do bad thing, then you're gonna, have the bad thing in return, something like that. That you are responsible for your actions. So the first, before you obtain the right view, like the supramundane right view, then you have to know the basic one first, which is called the mundane right view that we discussed last week. Okay. However, when we talk about the Noble Eightfold Path, the Buddha talk about the right view, which is the Four Noble Truths: the suffering, origin of suffering, cessation of suffering, and the way or the practice that leads to the cessation of suffering. The fourth one is actually the Noble Eightfold Path. So, everything just like interdependent, just connected to each other. Okay? So now we know about the right view. What about the right thought? The right thought, the Buddha said, it is the thought of renunciation, of goodwill, and harmlessness. There are three things that consider the right thought. So the right thought in Pali, we use Samma Sankappa. Right thought, right aspiration, right motivation. So we think about renunciation. Renunciation, it doesn't have to be like you have to ordain, you have to like shave your head or something like that. But you try to um, attach yourself from the five sensational desires of things like that. For example, if you think like, oh, I want some ice cream, that's the the thought to go to get something considered like the sensual desire. So you try to attach yourself from it. It's kind of hard, but yeah. So it's easier for you to be like the monastic because the environment gonna like help a lot with the thought of renunciation. But focus on the word, the thought. Like for you as the lay people that you have to live and you have to work, it's it's like normal, like it's undeniable that you have to be with all the worldly thing about the sensual desire, but try as much as you can to the thought of renunciation. Another thing is the thought of goodwill. You all can practice it, all the goodwill, and thought of harmlessness. Don't harm others as well as yourself. Some people, oh, I don't want to harm you. I want you to be happy. I don't want to harm you. But you harm yourself. You torture yourself. You work too hard to please someone else, but like neglect of yourself, neglect of your health, neglect of your like mental health or physical health. This is not the right thought. So the right thought is the thought of harmlessness, both yourself and others. Okay, this is the right thought. After that is what is the right speech? The right speech is to avoid speech that is false, not true, divisive, just like divide people into like groups, does not create harmony. The speech that is harsh for people to listen to, like something like the harsh words, or the speech that is nonsensical. This is called, if you avoid this kind of speech is called the right speech. We all know about the false speech is in the 5 precepts, right? But another 3, divisive speech. For example, you talk to someone to create like, for someone to have a fight, for someone to like you and to hate each other. That is divisive speech. You try to break the harmony. You try to like create the chaos or something like that. For the speech that is harsh, it does not mean like you talk like something bad. I don't know what, I don't want to use that word, but like the F word or something like that. But it's something that you talk with the anger. If you talk anything, even though it's nice to hear, even though you use the soft voice, but if you talk in the soft tone but with the anger inside, that is considered harsh speech. So the harsh speech here is any speech that comes from anger. And the nonsensical, like you just talk like nonsense or you just like gossip, is included in this kind of speech as well. Next, what is the right action? It is to avoid killing living creatures, to avoid stealing, and to avoid sexual activity. So if you see here, the right action is the precept, right? The first precept, to avoid living creature. The second precept, to avoid stealing. The third precept, to avoid sexual activity. The fourth precept, to avoid false speech. This is called the kamma kilesa, is it in Pali? It's the thing that create like the unwholesome quality and gonna create like the sadness, the suffering will follow. And the fifth precept is to drink alcoholic beverages, right? Why? Because it makes you reckless. It makes you not be mindful. So if you are not be mindful, if you are reckless, careless, then you can break the first to the fourth precept. That means if you keep the five precept, meaning you following the Noble Eightfold Path in the right speech and in the right action. But for right speech, you have to, try to train yourself not to use the divisive and harsh and nonsensical speech as well. Okay? Next, what is the right livelihood? The right livelihood is when a disciple, not just like the noble, any disciple gives up the wrong livelihood and earns a living by the right livelihood, meaning you work, whatever your career is, whatever your occupation is, you live with the right speech and the right action. If you work with the right speech, the right action, that means you have the right livelihood. Come back to this slide again. So the right speech, right action, and right livelihood is considered the precept, right? The five precepts and more than that. Okay. Next, what is the right effort? It is when a disciple generates enthusiasm, tries and makes an effort so that bad or unskillful qualities don't arise. But if it arrives, just abandon it, get rid of it. The second one, bad and unskillful quality that have arisen are given up. Get rid of it, reject it, abandon it, let go of it. And make an effort so that skillful qualities that have not arisen do arise. Have the good thing come instead of the bad thing. And the fourth one, make an effort so that skillful qualities that have arisen remain, increase, mature, and are fulfilled by development. So these four are the four right effort that you have to, use it like all the time. What is the right mindfulness? The right mindfulness that we all try to practice, right? The what's it called in Pali? Satipatthana. Satipatthana, or the mindfulness, right? It is when a disciple meditates by observing an aspect of the body, feelings, the mind, and the principles or the Dhamma, like the noble, the Four Noble Truths, or about the Dhamma, about the principle or the teachings. Be keen, aware, and mindful. Get rid of pleasure and displeasure for the world. What does it mean? It means like when you meditate by observing like the body, the corpse, your body right now, the feelings that arise, the mind, is it the mind with the anger or the mind with no anger, something like that, or the mind with like the meditative state of mind, or the mind with like the monkey mind, and observing the Dhamma that arise. Be mindful of it by not attached to it, by not thinking of it as you, yourself, your. For example, if the painful feeling arise when you meditate, right? And you sit like cross-legged and meditate. You feel like all the pain in your legs. And then you say, oh, my legs. See, mine. It's suddenly your legs, my legs. So just observe the feeling that arises by not attached to it and by not thinking of it as I, me, mine, you, your, something like that. It's just the feeling, or it's just the mind, or it's just the body, or it's just the thing that arises and eventually cease or fade away. Just be mindful like this. If you can meditate and then observing like the body, feeling, mind principle, or in the satipatthana, then you have the right mindfulness. And from the right mindfulness gonna lead you to the right concentration or the right wisdom. No, right meditation, sorry. It's when a disciple quite secluded from sensual pleasures and unskillful qualities enters and remains in the first jhana, which has the rapture and bliss born of seclusion, while placing the mind and keeping it connected. As the placing of the mind and keeping it connected are stilled, they enter and remain in the second jhana, which has the rapture and bliss with internal clarity. And with the fading of rapture, they enter and remain in the third jhana, where they meditate with equanimity, mindful and aware, personally experiencing the bliss of which the noble ones declare, equanimous and mindful, one meditates in bliss. Giving up pleasure and pain, and ending former happiness and sadness, they enter and remain in the fourth jhana without pleasure or pain, with pure equanimity and mindfulness. This is the right concentration. I'm gonna explain it later. The right concentration, you can see first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, and the fourth jhana. Actually, there are 8 jhana divided into 2 groups, Rupa jhana and Arupa jhana, form or no form. But even though there are 8 jhana, 8 state of the jhana, right? But the Buddha focused only on the first 4 jhana. Why? Because during the first 4, then you can still observe things that arise, right? But for the Arupa jhana, like the non-form, it's very, very hard, because then you can, once you reach like the 5th jhana, you cannot even experience, like you cannot feel your breath. So it's very hard to see like the 3 characteristics of all phenomena, the impermanence, suffering, and non-self. So the Buddha are concentrated just only the first 4. Okay, so now actually I have talked about it. I don't know when, but in my previous Dhamma talk. But here we're gonna talk about it once again, but in brief. The jhana comprises of, there are 5 components to create like the jhana state. The first one is called vitakka. Vitakka in Pali language can translate as the thought, or some people translate as initial mental application. It's just like when you just put toe, like for Thai people, we are familiar with the put toe. We think of the Buddha, right? Breathe in, put, breathe out, toe. This is in Thai accent, but for like Buddho, something like that. This is the thought or initial mental application. The second one is vichara in Pali, or in English we use the word roam. Chara here is mean to move, like roam around, or we can translate as keep it connected. So these two things is connected to each other. Vitakka is just like you bring up the thought, bring up the mental application, bring up your mantra, bring up the Buddha, bring it up, and then keep it connected, keep it, like, or for example, if you do the anapanasati, do the technique of focus on the breath, right? Focus on the breath, breathe in and then breathe out, and then try to keep it, like focus here on the contact of the breathing. So this is called vitakka and vichara. We can illustrate these pictures. For example, you imagine the bell. You ring the bell, right? And then you ring it. When you hit the bell, ding, right? The first ding, and then the echo, the sound of the bell, ding. You can hear the echo, right? Vitakka is when you ring the bell, ding, and then vichara is like the echo of the sound, ding. This is vitakka and vichara. So when you bring up any kind of meditation object, Buddha, breathe in, breathe out, Arahang Samma, or any mantra is called vitakka. And when you contemplate, roam, or keep it connected, keep the mind focused on it, then it's called vichara. This is the first step. And then after that, the rapture arises, piti arises. And then you feel happiness. You feel the happiness, the bliss, sukha. And once you have the one-pointedness of mind or ekakhata, with all these 5 components, it's called the first jhana. So the first jhana have all these 5. If you have just vitakka and vichara, it's not the jhana yet. You still have the vitakka, vichara, rapture, happiness, and one-pointedness of mind. No 5 hindrances. No contemplating about the 5 sensual pleasure. No torpor, sloth, doesn't want to sleep or something like that. No monkey mind. If you have these 5 components, is the first jhana. The second jhana, no more 1, number 1, number 2, no more. You have 3, 4, and then 5. You have the rapture, happiness, and one-pointedness of mind. Once you reach the third jhana, then you have only number 4 and number 5, happiness and one-pointedness of mind. And the last one, the fourth jhana, no more pleasure or non-pleasure, no more happiness or painful feeling. You have only equanimity and one-pointedness of mind. So this is considered the right concentration or the right meditation. Okay, now bring back this one again. First one, the rapture is piti. Piti is like piti. Rapture is just like when rejoice, when you feel like elated, right? They use the word elated, right? Like when you feel like cold, cool, even though like when you meditate in the hot weather, you still feel the cold, the cool inside. Some people, the hair stand up. Some people feel like, oh, the body got bigger. Some people feel like or maybe I'm gonna, float, up from the floor. Some people feel like overjoyed, like they cry, something like that. There are many kinds of rapture, but we call it piti, elated, rejoice. You're gonna experience it in meditation. Okay. So this, we talk about right view to the right concentration, right? This thing, just want to, like remind you of this picture so you can remember this picture and then you see the whole picture. After that, this is from the Mahajattarisaka Sutta. Mahajattarisaka Sutta is very, very good sutra, but it's very difficult. But here, the Buddha talk about the Noble Eightfold Path, that what is noble right concentration with its supports and requisites. That is right view, right thought, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, and right mindfulness. That unification of mind, equipped with these 7 factors, is called noble right concentration with its support and requisites. Meaning, it's interdependent. It connected to each other. Some people think like, oh, first, I want to meditate and I want to have the right concentration. I want to feel the rapture. I want to feel the one-pointedness of mind. I want to feel the jhana state of mind. But you still don't have the precept. You cannot keep the precept. You still don't believe in the action and the consequences of the action. You still don't believe in the noble four, no, the four noble truths. You still kill animals. You still don't know how to practice to be mindful. You cannot experience the right concentration because the right concentration needs these 7 factors. It is why it's very important to have the precept, to have the right view, and then meditate. Otherwise, maybe it's the wrong meditation, you experience like the wrong thing. The Buddha taught in the Mahajattarisaka Sutta that, it's actually the right concentration is the unification of the mind, equipped with the 7 factors, with the precept as the foundation, and the right view, the foundation to lead you to the right track of life, of practice. Okay? And then that's it. That's it about the Noble Eightfold Path. Here you can learn about the right view, mundane, and the supramundane. The mundane is essential as well because you cannot understand, like fully understand the Four Noble Truths if you still don't believe in the actions and the consequences of the action, right? You still don't believe in the rebirth. But if you believe in the cause and effect, you see for yourself about the cause and effect. And after that, once you have like maybe like 20% of the right view and then like 20% of the precept, like the right speech, right action. And then when you practice more and more and more, and then the right view can increase like 30%, 40%. And the more purified the right view you have, the more purified the wisdom you have, and then but the more right speech, the right action that you can, obtain or cultivate. And then once you fully cultivated this, then you have like 100% of the right wisdom. Then you really, really see the Four Noble Truths. This is very interesting. The word know and see. The word know, for example, you know, when for example, I tell you that, okay, I live in Mahavanatutanka. This is the place that I stay now. This monastery that I stay now is called Mahavanatutanka. It's in Lampang province in Thailand. It's next to the I don't know in English. It's next to the governmental building. It's very easy to find. Now you know the information, right? You know because you listen, and then you know. It's just like when you learn, when you listen to the Noble Eightfold Path, the Four Noble Truths. You know because you listen, and then you remember. But if I ask you like, have you been to Mahavanatutanka? Have you seen the place? Oh no, I haven't seen it. I haven't come to this place yet. So it's just the thing like, now you might know the right view. You might know that, okay, the right view is the Four Noble Truths. But have you seen it? Have you experienced yourself? Not yet. But the right wisdom here is you experience the Four Noble Truths yourself. And the more you experience it, the one that experience the right wisdom, the one that really see the right wisdom, the Four Noble Truths, is the Sotapanna, the first type of the noble disciple, that they really, really see and experience for themselves that Nibbana is real. This is the path to the Nibbana. And once you reach like the 100% of the right wisdom, and then you reach the right liberation or the Nibbana. Okay? Okay, I hope you all understand. Hi, Luisa. Good morning. And we have, hi, Dharma Learner. Good morning, Aya, and all from New York. Hi, Jim McCarty. Good afternoon from Ireland. Thank you so much for your kindness and teaching. What is rapture? Here I explain it. How can we cultivate right view and thought? Right view and right thought. This is very good question. To obtain, to cultivate the right view or the wisdom, there is one sutra, the Buddha. There are actually many kinds to cultivate the wisdom, but I'm going to talk two. The first one is the voice of another. Pali, we use the word palato kosa. Palato kosa. Kosa is the voice, pala, another. You listen to the teachings of the Buddha, maybe from the Buddha himself, or you listen from the disciple, you listen from anyone about the Four Noble Truths, about the three characteristics, about anything that is the teachings of the Buddha. You listen. Number two, you contemplate about it. You think about it, and then you, oh, this is the cause, this is the effect. Oh, this is right, this is wrong. You listen, and then you embrace it. You think about it, ponder, contemplate. And these two factors will lead you to the right view. And the right thought, the first thing that you have to know what is the right thought first, that we mentioned earlier. And then you try to, okay, now I think to harm someone else. No, that is not the right thought. Try to abandon it. So the Buddha talked in the Mahajatarisaka Sutra here. I'm going to show you here. This is the word Mahajatarisaka Sutra. Then you can search and then you read this sutra. In any kind of the Noble Eightfold Path, it needs to have the first one, the right view. Second one, the right effort. And the third one, the right mindfulness. These three things has to accompany each of the Noble Eightfold Path. For example, how to have the right thought. First thing, you need to have the wisdom, the wisdom that this is the right thought, that is the wrong thought. Okay, then you have to be mindful, the right mindfulness. You have to be mindful. Oh, now, right thought. Oh, no, that is wrong thought. And then you have the right effort. If it is the wrong thought, then you know it is the wrong thought. Try to abandon it, get rid of it, and then let the right thought arise instead. So the right view is very important, but the right view, the right effort, and the right mindfulness needs to come together with each one. Right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, and right mindfulness, and then right concentration. So you need to learn about what is the right view, right intention that we discussed today first, and then after that practice the right effort, the right mindfulness. Okay. Hi Krishna Dalani. Here Sud asks, hi Aya, if one just practice meditation for an hour a day but goes about the day just focusing on activity and brings the action in line with Dhamma, do they progress or do they need jhana? Okay, actually jhana can happen any time of the day. It doesn't mean that you have to sit cross-legged and then sit for an hour. The first jhana can happen anytime when you have the one-pointedness of mind. The rapture, it doesn't have to be like ooh, but feels so good. You can have just like the small level of rapture, but you feel happiness, and then you have one-pointedness of mind, and with no distraction. That means you reach the first jhana. The Patachara Bhikkhuni. Have you heard Patachara Bhikkhuni? Patachara Bhikkhuni. She actually reached the Nibbana when she cleaned her feet. In the past, when people walk, they walk barefoot, right? Bare feet, and then they have to use water to clean their feet. So when the first time that they clean their feet, during that time, the cleaning process, she reached the jhana and she reached the nibbana. So when we practice meditation, like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, it is to practice, for the mind to be stable, to be strong enough. So when you do your daily activity, then you still have the, you can still be mindful throughout the day. But if you don't practice, like, sit and then practice for a long period of time, it's hard for you to be mindful throughout the day, right? So this is just like the way to practice. For example, when you go to the retreat and then you practice like for 7 days or 15 days, it's just like when you try to do the marathon and then you have to keep your body fit. It's just the same thing. Why do we have to do the retreat? Because you just keep the mind fit, train the mind, so you can live your life when you go out of the retreat, when you go out of the meditative state of mind, or when you go out of the sitting posture, when you do your daily routine, then you can keep the mindfulness. And actually, the first jhana can happen throughout the day. There are some teachings when the Thai monk, a Thai bhikkhuni and Thai monk, we say like when we talk or when we walk, do the arms round. We have to walk with the mantra like iti piso bhagava. Then we have to chant. For some people, they chant, while walking, do the arms round in the morning. Some people focus on the movement. Some people focus on the feeling, something like that. But we have to be mindful when we walk. So when we, be mindful all the way to the market, to the village, for example, it's easier for us to reach the meditative state of mind. So when people gonna, give the food to us, to us, then for some monks, they can reach the jhana while standing there. Reach the jhana, and when people give the food, they have the more merit. So yeah. To answer question, it is good for you to practice meditation half an hour, or maybe more than that, and then it's just like the foundation. Make your mind strong. So when you out of the meditation process thing, you can still be mindful throughout the day when you do your daily routine, and that you can progress in the Dhamma. It's good for you to practice that. Anumothana. Dhamma learner said, a wonderful and thorough talk, so informative and thought out. Thank you for taking time to put it together for us. I will listen again and again. Thank you very much. Krishna Vandana. Hi. God, right? Shulai. Hi, Shulai. God asks, dear Aya, could you share on how to keep the mind stable during the meditation, how to not get distracted? It's the nature of the mind to go to the sound, to the smell, to the thought that arise. It's the nature of the mind. For example, when you meditate and then loud noise like the dog bark outside, it's the nature of the mind that, oh, that is loud. The stronger sensation, the stronger contact, it's gonna go there automatically, naturally. But when it go, oh, dog bark outside, then oh, the noise, and then take it back through to your like previous meditation object, like through the breathing, to the Buddha, to the observing the sensation, things like that. But to keep the mind stable, actually it's just like when you train the animal, train the monkey. The first time when you train the monkey, train the dog, train the cat, it's hard for them to learn the trick. It's hard for them to stay focused and then listen. What is next? What is the next lesson? Something like that, right? The first time when you do, it's very hard to train the monkey mind, because it's the nature to go like, oh, three ear to to the nose, to the smell, to the mind, to like, oh, thinking about the food, thinking about the work, thinking about the thing that people talked yesterday, thinking about the future, thinking about the past, something like that. It's the nature of the mind wandering around. The first time when you practice is very hard, because go wherever they want to go, right? But try to focus on any type of the object of your meditation. For example, breathing. If you practice the breathing anapanasati, right? Just like breathing heavily. Get back here. It just come back here because it gonna, the strong sensation, the strong contact gonna draw the mind, and then come here, and then breathe in, breathe out again. And then if the mind wandering around again, then you know that, okay, come back. Just like when you pull the dog, come back here. Pull the monkey, come back here. The more you train, come back here, come back here, come back here, the easier it will for the mind to be stable, to stay focused. But yeah, it just, and also you have to learn about the 5 hindrances. Actually, I gave a Dharma talk. You can have a look. You have to know about the 5 hindrances. Then you have to get rid of like the thinking about the sensual pleasure. About the work, just let it go. Now it's time to practice. Now it's time for me to stay and to be with the breathing, something like that. Mhm. So this is how you train the mind. Think of it as when you train the dog, train your cat, train the monkey. Draw it back, but don't like blame yourself like, oh, I thinking too much. Oh, I think again. No, it's the nature of the mind to wander around. So just don't, like don't put pressure too much on yourself. It's just the nature. Or when you think, oh, thinking, come back. Oh, the sound, come back. Oh, thinking again, come back. Thinking, come back, come back. The more you train like this, the easier it will get. Mhm. And one thing about how to not get distracted, for some people, when they meditate a lot, they love to find the quiet place, right? Oh, I don't like the insect sound. Oh, I don't like this place. People talk too loudly. Oh, this place, it's near the road, the street, a lot of car, driving past. I don't like this place. I want to go to the forest. I want to go deep into the forest, where there's no human being. But once you reach the deep forest, then you're gonna hear the loud noise of the insects. So anywhere you go, even to the cave, even in the cave, there's still loud. There's still some noise. So you cannot find a place without any distraction. It's normal. But you have to train yourself like whatever circumstances, then I can be right here and now. I can be with the breathing. Even though, in line for the queue for the restaurant or the cashier, I still can be happy with the, meditating, in meditating, like the breathing, breathe out. I can be happy anywhere because there are real people that try to find the place that no more noise, no more sounds, but they cannot find, even in the cave in Thailand, no such place. So then they learn that, okay, it's the thing that we have to experience. So just don't, concentrate on that. Concentrate on the breathing, concentrate on the Buddha. And then you can practice anywhere in the world. Even though you stay in your home, then you can practice. You can make your home as the temple. You can make your home as the retreat center. It just have to, have the understanding like it's here. It's here. It's not about the place. It's not about the climate, the noise or anything, environment. It's helping. The environment is helping, but you have to practice, like you can meditate, you can practice anywhere, anytime, any circumstances. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, Vivian. I haven't replied your email yet. Okay, any more question? I hope you learned a lot today about the Noble Eightfold Path. Learn about the precept, the meditation, the wisdom. Everything is interdependent. It connected to each other. It support each other. So for the first thing that very important is the right view. Then you have to know what is the right view, what is the right thought, what is the right speech, what is the right action, what is the right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration, what is it? And then you have to understand that, if I want to have the right concentration, then I have to do all these 7 factors. When you do the 7 factors, the right concentration arise without wanting it to arise. It's gonna arise naturally. And then you have to know that the right view, right effort, and the right mindfulness is very important, and it accompanies each of the path. You have to have the knowledge that what is the right thought, what is the wrong thought, and then you have to be mindful. Wrong thought arise, and then have the right effort. Abandon the unwholesome qualities and let the wholesome qualities arise instead. Something like that. And eventually, we all will be able to cultivate the right wisdom and the right liberation, the right awakening, and then reach the Nibbana. So we all can reach the Nibbana. Okay? Sadhu, 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 Suma Shreya and Katsuko Yamamoto. Thank you very much, Arigatou gozaimasu, for Katsuko, right? That's it for today. I hope you enjoy and learn something very beneficial and something that you can contemplate about it and then practice it in your daily life. The wise words of the Buddha should be embraced and should be put it into practice. HPD asks, how can we study this more in depth? I recommend you read the Mahachattari Saka Sutra. Mahachattari Saka Sutra. I hope I can teach you Mahachattari Saka Sutra, but I have to tell you that it's very, very long. It's a lengthy sutra. You can search this name and then you can read it through first. If you want me to talk about it, then you can ask in the comment section and you can request it. I'll try, but maybe you have to divide into 2 hours, something like that. Okay, I recommend this Mahachattari Saka Sutra. It's very, very good and in-depth sutta. Okay, so that's it for today. See you again next week, every Thursday, with the Dhamma from Thailand. Before we finish, let us say Sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, 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 Anumodhami. I hope you all can practice and stay in the path of the Noble Eightfold Path until reaching the right liberation or Nibbana together. Nibbana Paccaya Hotu. May the Triple Gem protect you all. Be happy, healthy, and then rejoice in the Dhamma of the Buddha. Thank you very much. See you again next week.